Record now. All right, so how does everyone feel? Did that make like a little bit of a kind of a difference? Did you process things kind of coming through? Did you have something that actually needed to make its way through?
I liked it. Can you send us that saying?
Yes, isn't that beautiful? I love that. Yes, I will.
Yeah, that's funny.
I just won't
I
remember
Googled
all,
it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's I say it
Maureen,
every
I
single
Googled
day.
it right after Aunt Deb said
cool.
it.
Yes. Yeah, I don't end my yoga because I do my yoga or my meditation, usually both every single morning. And I never leave the yoga hut or wherever I am in the morning without saying that. Like that's my end. And I'll tell you, there's sometimes like someone the other day, matter of fact, I think it was just yesterday, I was carrying anger from the day before. I was going to do something. And it was actually like the night before. And then in the morning, I did my yoga and all, and I still was I could feel myself still like a little bit agitated. And then as soon as I got to that, I was like, no, it's not going to serve me. I'm not carrying anger through, and it's not going to serve the other person either, because anger doesn't do anything but upset our own energy. So in this course and going through into this new quarter, we're going to kind of build on quarter one and quarter two. And we're going to kind of go through the beginnings again, but then we're going to get really deep into this season as we leave the heat of the summer. And I got one hair. There we go. As we come into the fall, kind of start getting ready for the winter, it's a huge change in energy. The fall energy is it can be so disturbing to the body that it is an amazing force almost to be reckoned with. It's one of the harshest changes on the body from the heat of the summer. And then the fall, as it comes in, we're going to change from pitta to severe vata season. And then vata carries into the beginning of the winter. So that vata season is very it's lots of turmoil on the body, huge change from the heat and the humidity from the summer to that dry, cold, hot in the fall. All that wind, it has huge effect on the body. So we're going to get into that in a few weeks and really go into, calming the mind, the body, and learning why and how it's going to affect our main goal in this course is to, as we're not going to do that tonight, but as we've done in each quarter and everything, our what, and then our why, and we're going to keep going. And I am a person who, we're going to go through all this, but the process of the habit evolution it's so real and it's so amazing that when it really starts to happen, you're like, oh my goodness, like I identified with this other person before, but I have completely changed things around, and I'm the same body, but I'm not the same identity. I've completely changed my identity, or I've up-leveled my identity, or I've morphed it a little bit, or whatever the transformation is for you. I'm what, Mo? Oh, I thought you said something.
No, I was trying to get my phone to stay.
Okay. So
I'm being a spaz. It's all good.
That's all right. We're used to that, Mo. All right. So
I know.
as we go through desire. So whatever our desire is, whatever it was quarter one, quarter two, and now we're in quarter three, or, some maybe beginning, we're going to have, I think 2 more girls one has a colonoscopy, like I said, tomorrow. So what is our real desire, whatever, we're going to achieve that. I know a few of you have actually really embraced this and really had amazing results so far. And it's because the desires were so strong. You have to really want it. You can't habit change that automation into that, habits becoming automated. I mean, that process of getting to that, it's hard. I mean, in the beginning, it's like, oh, I have these ideas and I know I'm supposed to do something, but I'm not quite there yet. So as you keep going through it, and as we keep going through it, you start learning That better outcome is what you want. And it's not going to be perfect every day. So we're going to go through. So desire has intelligence. It's a level of intelligence, your desire. It actually is this intelligent process in tantric yoga. So in that form of yoga, whatever the desire is, because in yoga is based not on just asanas and different poses and doing things or sweating or getting into a hot room. It's like the Yoga Sutras. I think there's 196 of them from Pranjali came up with this. He codified what yoga is. And if you ever have a chance to go in and just read some of them or whatever, they're really beautiful. One keeps building on the next, but the first one I think is now, like right now. We're going to start right now where we are. So what your desire is right now going forward, it has an intelligence, because once you say it and you feel it, it actually is processed in the brain. So we're going to get stronger and stronger at processing our desire to fit into our habits. The habits are going to change our personality. Once we get to that point, or we keep getting to, because I don't think you ever really get to it, because within our Dharma, we keep changing and evolving. You never really want to be stagnant and totally content. Always a little bit of changes and different things that we are privy enough to happen if we want it and we're strong enough to keep going for it. So that's where we're going to see the outcome and the breakthroughs. So remember, what do we want? What do we really, really want? And it has to be measurable. You can't say like, I want to have $100 million in my bank account. If you measure it and say by tomorrow, maybe that's not going to really happen right away, or, whatever it is, it has to be a measure that's doable. It'd be really great. I guess maybe you could win the lottery, but Benjamin Hardy says, personality isn't permanent. And this is what we're working on. It's plastic. You can mold it, you can morph it, you can change it, you can do whatever you want. People think you're born with your personality, as we're all starting to learn. You absolutely change your personality. You're going to identify with who you were before to who you're wanting and becoming. And as we do this, each quarter is going to get stronger and stronger, and the layers are going to come off, and it's where we become. So what's really, really important is svasta in Sanskrit means seated in ourselves. So the most important is going to be true to yourself and be seated in yourself. Believe in yourself. What is your goal? What is it really? And you really have to get deep. What do you want? How badly do you want it? So we're going to get into the whys and the things on a higher level. And we're going to attach it to that feeling of love. Ayurveda is a science of love. Way back 5,000, I think it's 5,000 to 7,000 years old, depending on which school of thought you go with. This science is a medical science. It's a science of life. It's how to live and how to live in your best interest and how to do that. So, which I find really, really beautiful, because it really supports it. So as we get into the habit evolution, and your body weight is going to change and your thoughts are going to change and different things are going to happen, you'll see this. And it comes from an inner wisdom that starts to become so powerful that you really want that. You no longer want to live in that unbalanced, anyone that has, all of us do have inflammation, but like systemic inflammation and living out of rhythm and all this, you are giving to those 6 stages of disease every day. So all of us that has like eczema, ulcers, any kind of like reflux or digestive issues, or even personality disorders, different things, all those are signs and symbols to tell us we're in that disease process. But Ayurveda believes it's all undo. Like, you don't have to be that going forward, and you absolutely can kind of reset this all. And we start on that, like, you want to get into the cellular level, and that all goes back to that desire and that intelligence. So you can shape shift the size of your body. Some people need to gain weight. Some people need to lose weight. Some people have very bad anxiety or worry. Constant worry will lead to cardiac diseases, inflammations of the heart, different things. That high pitta, that strive for perfection, and that not knowing, because that's a very good thing. I mean, pitta is like discernment, and that's fire, and that's focus, and that's beautiful. But in its, as we know, in its imbalance, it really breaks the body down quickly, very, very quickly. And it's fire, so it burns it up fast. So we're going to learn how to go through all that again and achieve these goals, what we have set for ourselves. And again, the habits, I don't know how many of you have read the Atomic Habits book, really great. So we're going to do those 1%, 1% changes, or the 1% effort every single day. It's not those gigantic leaps. I think back in one of the quarters, we drew the ladder. The ladder has so many steps so that you can step on them gradually, make yourself up without falling. If you have all those ladder steps so far apart from each other, you're going to say, hey, here's a ladder right there. You're going to have a ladder. I mean, you're going to go up to one and you're probably going to fall down because you're going to lose. So those goals set too high in the very beginning kind of become almost undoable. So we're going to hit these goals 1% at a time. We're going to Kaizen them. Then we're going to find out which habits for us are the best, which is working. And then we have our keystone. What is the strongest habit for us? And that's going to be our keystone habit, which builds around the others. And as we see, as you start to really get yourself living back in rhythm, like small miracles can happen, different things can happen, different things can shift in our bodies, in our minds, our relationships. I found huge changes in my relationships on every aspect, personal, my business relationships, things that used to just totally snap me right away or be so reactive, like immediately, either in an aggressive way or in a almost like panicky way, like something, and it doesn't affect me anymore. I process it. I take that extra minute to process and it diffuses, and I'm able to think like right on the cut, like right there on the dime, in the right way. I have a better response. So instead of reacting to things, we're going to respond to things. It's our choice. So we're going to get into different levels of this on a really deep level. So whatever we choose to be doing going forward as our what or why, these habits are going to support it, because you need the physical. You need those physical daily habits.
And
Yep. I lost you. Is it my connection or yours?
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can and I can. It's going in. I think could be my connection here with the storm, but.
Oh, it's funny. I don't know, maybe I don't know if you can hear.
I can hear you.
Me or not. So yeah, I don't think
She's good.
Oh, put it in the chat. Okay. Okay, absolutely. So the cruising altitude is amazing. Once you get to that point and you can stay there, I mean, we are going to, a little storm might come up, we might drop altitude, or we might have to rise above something where we're going to get, that. But we learn, as you girls are learning now already, that the ability to pull yourself back in really fast can be instant. So that cruising altitude is absolutely beautiful. But then when, say, something hits us, like say something happened to you in work before and it was really disturbing, or you were really angry, a coworker, a boss, whatever, and you were really ticked off, that could last a day or two. So right there, your productivity went down. You were aggravated, so your stomach was upset, so your digestion was off. Everything goes off. Now we understand how to process things, and we almost can read the other person's dosha. Like you're beginning to understand these things that are amazing, because you could almost diffuse it knowing it's not me. I know them and they're so out of balance. You almost have that empathy for them, and you can diffuse it and attack it now as a really almost like a superior way of it, like you actually have the upper hand now because you can take hold of the situation and you're not letting it upset you. And you haven't let them get you to the point of that breaking, and your productivity can continue. Your next call can continue. Like it's taken, a few years for me to come all the way through that. I used to be very reactive. I had extreme pitta at work and pitta at home, lots of things going on. And then like constant things. There's always something going on in your family, constant family things going on that are emotional. But I've had this ability now to handle them in a major different way. I don't let the anxiety, the worry, whatever, like take over. So this is where you will get to. You'll be able to get yourself to that point where it's instant. It's like, take that breath for a minute. Like, okay, now I processed it. All right, how can we handle this? And it's beautiful. It just saved you 2 days, stomach ulcer, constipation or diarrhea, one or the other, the burping. I mean, all of this comes with it as that digestion gets off, all of that disturbs digestion. And as we know, digestion is the root of our health because our health is our wealth. I mean, to have the wealth is to really have that stable health. And as we learn how to honor ourselves and our digestion, it's got to be that really good, strong digestion, or it's going to begin that disease process somehow, somewhere in the body, the mind, or the spirit. So that's why whatever your why or what can be, it's so connected to every bit of Ayurveda because it's that. And then we're going to put in like that design thinking, and it all plays on it. And it just makes this like amazing ability to handle life in the most powerful way. So whatever you choose. Look at how cute. I did the phone went up, so I saw the dog.
Yeah, he's a new student.
Oh. So anyone have any questions like right on that? I know that's a big one. The reactivity to things, rather react, we're going to respond. Anyone have any little share or anything on that?
Yeah, I can, because this, as you know, the last 2 weeks have been really rough. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, I reacted with being angry. And then I went to, no, this is not going to work for me or for anybody else. So let's change that and just go to, so I can be in my like stressful. And it was a big turn to where, I'll say my brother even said to me the other day, he's like, I cannot believe how good you have handled this. And I was like, yeah, I got it.
See? Yeah.
That's awesome.
It'll be fine. Yeah. And if you don't, but yeah, big difference.
Big difference.
And then I go, I'm just like, I'm good. Yeah.
Amazing. Huge win. So, all right.
Yeah. Thank God. Yes.
Yes. It's been an amazing 2 weeks for everyone. I think the ups and downs and emotions popping out of everywhere and everything going on it's been pretty crazy.
Mhm.
I just want to go through one thing I love. In Ayurveda, this is another beautiful thing we're gonna go through deeper in one of the weeks within the habits. Yoga has these 8 limbs. They're called the 8 limbs of Ayurveda, and there's yamas and niyamas. So the yamas are like things of universal mortality. They're like things to abide. So there's 5 and 5. So in yoga, they kind of call them the 10 commandments, sort of. So the yamas, ahimsa is the compassion for all living things. So it's things to be aware of that really make life nicer, better. It's almost like the Reiki affirmation that I said before. Satya is commitment to truthfulness, which can be to your own self. Asteya is non-stealing. So stealing, again, can be from yourself. Stealing time, stealing emotions, stealing gratitude, grateful, like it's even within yourself. It's not like you went out and stole some property from someone, but it could be. Brahmachari, sense control, having control over all of your senses. Again, we're going to go into that into one. So your 5 senses. Neutralizing the desire to acquire and hoard wealth. And again, that doesn't just mean dollars. Like you could be really, really abundant in some beautiful aspect of your life. You could have a skill or something. And when you hoard that and don't share it, we're all put on the earth to share what we have. So it could be something we're gifted with. It could be money. You could help people out maybe with money or something. So it's this, non-hoarding. This, whatever your acquired wealth is, no matter what it is, it's that non-hoarding. And then the niyamas are personal observances. So the niyamas are, Saucha is purity. And then Santosha is contentment. Tapas, disciplined use of our energy. So instead of overdoing things or underdoing our energy or something, it's this disciplined use of energy. And Svadhyaya, as we went over before, that's our self-study. So that's kind of what we're doing here in this. We're self-studying. Are we growing? Are we improving? Are we reaching these goals? Are we being kind to nature and to other people? Are we living life in our dharma? Are we doing stuff? So that's our self-study. And then celebration of spirituality. So, which doesn't have to be like a religion. It has to do with a spirit, that soul within you. It's to celebrate that, to honor that, to be aware that we have a mind, a body, a soul. It's all connected. So the yamas and the niyamas are an awareness of life. So I always love like coming across something that has them in an awareness. So I will send those out in a little thing on our next. I'm going to send like the recording, but I'll send them because it's really, they each have like their own little understanding in Ayurveda, like what the actual meaning of them is in Ayurveda, not just in words, because it's really hard to like kind of transcribe those Sanskrit words into English. They're usually feelings, emotions, or things to do or habits. So sometimes it gets very lost in translation. So, all right, so we're going to take like, maybe, I don't even know what time it is. All right, we're going to take like 5 or 10 minutes and we're going to think about what it is that this next quarter is to us, like the most important. What is it that we feel is super important to us, our next intelligence of desire. What are we hoping for in this next round, in this next quarter? And again, it could be where we are in life. It could be something to work. It could be relationships. It could be physical. Maybe we have an ailment or something going on in our body. Let's take a couple minutes and think about it, like what it is right now. We're going to do a fun little exercise. And I think Miranda was going to join in with us to give us a 4th person. Let me send her a quick text. She told me to text her. All right, we're going to do a fun little liberating structure. So if Miranda can't jump on, I'll be the 4th person. So I'm going to break us up into 2 breakout rooms. And you take 2 minutes. And this also has to do with speaking and listening. So someone in the first minute, someone will have a timer, you put it on, and you're going to speak why you're desired, like what it is, why it's important to you. So you're going to speak to your partner, whoever comes up in our little breakout room, and you have 1 minute to tell them what it is and important to you. Then that person is going to tell you theirs, and then we'll take a little bit of break. We'll come back for a minute, and then we're going to go back into the room. Now, you know what? I'm going to keep you in there for a few because I want you to finish it, because if we had more people, you would come in and out. I'm going to keep you in the rooms for a few more minutes. You're going to tell your 1 minute, And then that person's going to tell you what they heard. Then you're going to switch. The next person is going to say what their desire is for a full minute. So it's getting you to think deeper and deeper, because sometimes you could say it in one word, but you're going to go into it for a full minute. You're going to be time for a full minute on what it is. And then the other person, the receiving, the listener, is going to tell you what they heard, what they really heard you say. Miranda Ann, can you hear us? Can we borrow you for, we're going to go into, and I want to be able to go in and out of the room. So we're going to go into this quarter where I'm going to put you in 2 breakout rooms, 2 and 2. And you're going to say what for the next quarter, or what your desire is, like what you truly want right now, next in life, in this next quarter. And it's got to be something measurable, attainable, like what it is for you. And you're going to tell that to the other person for 1 minute. And then they're going to tell you back what they heard. And then you're going to time the other person for 1 minute, let them talk. They're going to just keep talking for 60 seconds. And then the person's going to tell you what they heard. All right, so let's see if this will work. Recording, brain reaction. Where'd my breakout rooms go? It's usually right in front of me. Where'd it go?
Looks like we might have lost Miranda.
Oh, we did. So I might have to jump in. Oh, I hear there's another.
No, she's
Hey,
there.
Miranda.
At some point, are we gonna introduce ourselves to each other, or maybe not already know each other and I'm the only one who doesn't?
No. It's whatever. If I heard the question right, everyone is just going to come up
Hey,
with.
I don't know. And Deb, can you hear?
My computer keeps shutting me out, Miranda. Okay, that's okay. Laura, did you just say, are you are not going to be one included? What?
Actually,
Hi.
do that chat with
Hey.
her. Tell her what she's saying. She's saying, can we all
Gonna introduce ourselves.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you know what? We got off in the beginning. Absolutely.
On the call.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
that. We absolutely can do that.
The rest of you.
Can you all hear each other? Can you all hear Laura speaking clearly?
Yes.
Okay, so how about, because I can't hear all of you, so how about if
Yes.
let's go in
Yeah.
and
You
because
can hear me,
all,
right, Mo and Laura?
yep, and I
Yeah,
can hear. So why don't we do that for a few minutes? I knew you all could hear me, but I can't hear you that well, so I wasn't going to
Hi,
do.
Laura.
We couldn't say. So why don't we take 2 minutes, because hopefully you all can hear each other. I just can't hear you all clearly. So that's why I didn't want to do that if you couldn't hear each other. So how about if we take,
can hear each other.
okay,
Okay.
perfect. So why don't we do that? You girls go in, let's start. Ashley, why don't you introduce yourself, since they can hear you clearly? I might not be able to hear it 100%, but just introduce yourself. Where are you from? What's your state? All of that.
For sure. Hello. It's Laura, right? I could see you there for a second, but I can't see you now. So no pressure,
Yeah.
but hi there. How are you? It's nice to meet you. Thanks for doing that. I was actually wondering who the other person was. So and, and just like I'm going through IVF, so I've been in a 4-year fertility journey, mentally full of a bunch of blah. I was just blocked. So I started to cleanse. And then from there, it just really revolutionized my life, you know? And so I'm like a new pregnant.
Oh, I was wanting to know.
Yeah.
That's
So,
so awesome.
yeah, we're so excited. So this course is life changing. So it's really nice to meet you. And I can't wait to hear about you too.
So Laura, her whole life, and BFFs ever since. And she has done. I mean, this has been amazing for me. It's been a roller coaster. Know me long enough to know that she can tell you can see the signs of my changing way to ground is alone. And you get excited for every week. You'll notice with us, and it's like just that being the part of this, and it's always like, and like, is it Wednesday? Yeah, okay, let's go, you know. So that, yeah, fun.
Yeah.
So
Thank
your
you.
turn.
Oh, okay. Are in Durham, and I am Kevin Slavin's cousin.
Oh, awesome.
We used to spend summers together. Our families used to summer together down in Avon. And so I've, met Debbie. I, have some background in integrative medicine. And so a lot of these concepts are familiar to me.
Nice.
And yeah, but there's some things that I want to change in my life. And I figured this might be a good start.
That's awesome.
Terrific.
Very nice, ladies.
We're here with you.
Yeah.
Rock and roll or no? Just a delay, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm having I think Miranda and I are in the real storm section of it because she can't get a connection, and mine keeps coming into
It's that hurricane coming in, man.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
I was looking at it before. It's like this gigantic. But I can still hear you guys perfectly. No, I can't hear you perfectly. You can hear me well enough.
Oh.
I know. Sorry. The recording is going to be like, rah, 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 rah. but I guess that my part of it, I guess, should be okay. But well, thank you, Laura, for suggesting that. I didn't want to do it because I knew I couldn't hear you. So if you were introducing whatever, I couldn't hear all of it. So, but this is perfect because if we go into the breakout rooms, you'll be able to hear each other perfectly. And I'm going to try my hardest. I'm going to come in on one and let you speak. If not, we're going to have to do a round robin between the three of you. But let's try it. Let's give it a thought. It's a really good practice on saying something more than just 1 second of it. Like you have to keep talking for 60 seconds. You just have to keep going into,
Need to tell her.
what did you just say? No, oh, well, I'm gonna attempt to come in on one of the rooms. I guess Miranda can't get I wonder if she tries her iPhone. I'm gonna do, 1 second. I'm gonna put you into a breakout room and see. Enjoy.
Hey, Debbie,
Yes,
we could do this
Yeah.
alternate to say their thing and then heard.
yeah, I'm looking now. Yeah, because it's going to, even by putting me in, so the three of you can, and hear
Because that way we
perfectly.
also all get to hear each other.
Yeah, because I can't, I was thinking if I put you into a breakout room, I could hear the breakout rooms because it's a different, but I don't know if I can.
Well, I kind of think that since it's a
Right,
small group, that
I just put you three in,
for us
and
to all
I might be able to listen.
roll for the
Oh, here comes Miranda.
quarter is that we all hear it.
Okay, wait, we got
Yeah. Okay.
all right, let's see if this works.
Stupid weather.
Hey, Randy, can you hear us?
Yes. Miranda, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Miranda?
Kind of. What is happening?
Okay, I put them in breakout rooms. They're doing a liberated structure. So I figured I could go over it. I mean, we'll just say that you got in and it came up, so you're with me. So you put 2 and 2 in a room.
I was gonna say, do you want to put me in the room with one of them?
Well, all 3 of them are in. You want to join in with them?
How does it work?
I'm just going to put you in.
Whatever you need me.
Okay, you can
Whatever you
listen.
need me
So
to do.
it's they're going to tell, they speak for 1 minute timed of what your like next quarter, your desire, like what your new goal is, what it really is. And you have to speak about it for 60 seconds. And then they tell you what they heard. Then the next person goes. Would you like to go in? Do you have,
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
do you have a desire or a something that you want to what your goal is for the next quarter?
I don't know because I haven't. As I say, I don't know because I haven't been thinking about it. I don't know what my goal would be for the next quarter.
Um,
To heal my knee.
something like that, something, yeah, something
Is that
really,
a goal?
that would be a goal. And that would come, yeah, and you could say why, because you're going to get into like the why. You're going to talk about it for 60 seconds. Something in your life, something with the baby, something in your relationship, something in your health. You want to stay with
Okay.
me or you want to move with them?
Whatever you want me to do.
I'm just curious if you want to
Whatever
go
you
in and
need me to
listen.
do.
You can go in and listen to them, or you could, it doesn't really matter now that it was 3 people.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was trying to jump on my computer and I couldn't hear anything.
That's right. I'm going to put you in if
And
you
the
want to
first,
listen.
I could hear like the first few words.
All right. Do you want to
Okay,
listen to
I
them?
could
Do you want
just
to go
jump
in?
in and listen to theirs.
Okay. I think I just put you in. Oh, you have to say joined, I think, or there you go. Okay, 4 minutes. All right, yeah, 4 minutes. I'm going to put my timer on, and then I'm going to go back in and listen to them. All right, well, they're in there. I'm going to do a little reading on the like 3 main topics of the habits, and just checking out my notes. So 1% better every day. Move this, I think you can see me. Like compound interest, there's a compound effect. Interest on interest, your accelerated growth towards these better habits becomes incremental with these habit changes. So you're going to pick a skill or a habit, your biggest need, and your level of consistency is going to make the difference. So small daily, small in the beginning, and then that level of consistency. So tiny steps. Same thing with compound interest. We put a little bit in, then that interest compounds and then compounds. That's what the habits and that Kaizen approach to 1% change every day. The short term doesn't always look that great. It doesn't look like we've made that much progress in the first couple weeks or couple times we're trying something, but then the long term is that compound effect. Okay. And then we keep pushing 1% at the end of a year, at the end of our goal, we've had a 37% increase, 37% greater after 1 year. And then as you keep pushing and pushing, so small improvements lead to that permanent change as we're going to go through. So that big gap between, and then you find the big gap between the people who are making these changes and people who have chosen not to do are kind of here and you're way up here. And so this is an easy plan to map out, but it's a hard plan to stick to. But if you really have those desires and what you're repeating to each other right now in the breakout room, it's going to become that lasting effect. And then identity habit harmony, which is the running. It can equate it to like you have to be in harmony with what is that you chose or what the habits are. So say you're a runner and you haven't identified yourself with a runner. You haven't identified as that person yet. And you're out running in bad weather or like hot weather or whatever. And you have a little bit more to go. If you haven't identified strongly with that habit, you are probably going to give up and stop. If you identified yourself as a runner, you're going to keep going until the end. You're going to push on. So that's where that habit, that small incremental change, comes up. So whatever it is, like whatever your image is, you keep making small changes, you keep going for it. And then that long-term habit change actually becomes part of you, becomes part of your personality. And then the third one is like this democracy of self. Every action you take has a vote, and you could vote in favor or in decline of it. So every day that you decide to do something, you're putting this positive vote in. You're putting this actual yes vote in. Every day you don't do it, it's a negative vote. So, but you can take that negative vote and you could make it better and almost nullify it by doing it again right away the next day, adding a positive vote. So this is that democracy part of it. What you want to become, no single instance will transform you, but more and more of the consistent votes put in towards that change. As you vote and vote and vote, yes, 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 and keep giving the vote to do it again the next day, that's when you win the vote. That's when the democracy takes over. You've actually gotten that vote. You've won it. So what you do today, good vote, bad vote, is your outcome for tomorrow and that long lasting. And then when you put these all together, like James Clear will say, the second mistake. So as you say the next day that you keep voting no and not doing these changes, you're adding to a second mistake. So you've made one mistake and that's okay. Maybe you didn't want to do things one day towards your goal, but that second day, that third day, as you choose to not do it again, you're adding second mistakes in. So that's what we try not to do. So putting in daily efforts are your, that's your casting votes towards that end goal. So that's what I just want you to keep in mind, that you really want to keep doing these daily, but small little bits at a time. That's my little play. All right, I'm going to join in the room and see what they're doing.
You want it. And that's going to be your drive for you, along with the hope, because you want it. And then, and all of us have gone through this too. It's like you have to want it for ourselves. And now that you want it, and as you go through this with us, I think that what you'll find, that frustration will be less, because and Debbie will teach you, as she taught us, same thing. It's one little habit at a time. It's not, it's,
Yeah.
I'll say, and not try to look all the way up. Just go to that first rung. Get to that first rung. So when you said, so what I heard is I want 30 pounds, but I settle for 15. Well, I would ask you to just set yourself a real, I hear your, like, as Ashley said, your desire and your hope, and now you have that want, and I think you can do it.
Yeah. And you're worth it. Like you
Yes.
have the,
Oh my
to
gosh.
invest in this, like to spend the money and the time on this group
Mhm.
is showing that like you innately feel that you're worth it.
You
Like,
are.
you
Yes.
are worth the time and energy, And so I think to keep reminding yourself of that's really.
I just put myself in room 2. I guess what, it's empty. All right. I think they have 2 more minutes.
focus switch a little bit? Is that what you're?
It's more
Did we have enough, did we have enough time?
Well, no, we're
I tend to start thinking that and look like that we need to be. But the summer, I'm more stop and like push like I here when I'm in a hurry. I guess that since I started
Mhm.
that's what that's yeah.
Well, and you pull your back and have us want to like people get they get friends that we're always you not go in that dark state, take you and keep you now. So I think you will definitely keep that.
Your mind, you're gonna go back to your old. But it also heard the nation a lot, and you already do. So I just
Still good.
Or cheer us.
There is. Not technologically advanced.
To I don't know to meet you related
some spirits to some transformation. Transform. So and this will still remain
All right.
I
Okay, I can hear you guys kind of in and out a little bit. So how did that go? All was well?
Good.
That was great, right? Those are to hear, to say something, and then to get feedback on what someone else heard is usually really powerful. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
okay, I think we, Ashley had to go, I think I heard.
Yeah, we had a great practice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear Miranda and Aunt Deb, couldn't hear us, but no, Laura and I had a great chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, you guys are going, and it's absolutely pouring out here. It's raining like crazy, and I keep getting the unstable connection. My message keeps coming across, so at least you guys can hear each other, and you could go through the room. That's why I'm glad I did the breakout room, because you could actually get that exercise in, and you get to kind of, see how it is and get to use it. And really, it's a neat thing, and we'll do it more and more each time as we go through different exercises and stuff, because it's really it's a really great learning tool to be able to hear and to listen. Ooh, my door's about to slam.
Open.
Okay.
Have that big storm there.
Ooh, crazy, crazy here.
Side, one second, the door. Like, yeah.
All right. Okay, you guys just went out again. I'm sorry. All right. I know you all can hear, but I'm just getting like bits and pieces. So how about if I'll send this, because I think your recordings and everything can go through, and I'll send the recording, I'll go on, and then next week we're actually going to get like back into the new session and get going. I'll send out the whole the syllabus should be ready. I don't even know what day. Oh, it's Wednesday. So the syllabus, I'll probably have that ready and out in the email by Friday for setup, and then we'll go through everything. And next week we're going to jump right in head first. So I thank you all for being here tonight. That was a great call, and everybody got to introduce themselves. Sorry about my internet connection, but that's the storm. That's what it is. And I will send the, unless you all looked it up already, the Reiki affirmation. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. And see you next week. Love you all.